Hey, sounds good. Hey, everybody, it's Thursday night, and that means wrestling right here in the Civic Arena. So welcome aboard. If you can't make it down, tune on in here to Aero TV. It's not like being here, but almost. So, and tonight we have a wrestling double feature. Pierre versus Watertown. We have the girls duel to lead us off here in about 5.5 minutes, and followed by the boys action. So right now we're about halfway through the season, and you want your wrestlers to start fine-tuning, tidy up their shape, lock in, and get mentally ready for that February stuff. You know, a little preview tonight. There's 10 weight classes in South Dakota girls wrestling, and we have 5 #1 ranked wrestlers in the house. So 4 for the Arrows, Olivia Anderson, Brooklyn Randall, Allison Conrad, and Eden Hawk. And for the Governors, their #1 ranked wrestler is Abby Lewis, returning state champ. They have 3 #2 ranked wrestlers, Shaylee Speck, Danny Rinksmeyer, and Ireland Templeton. #3, Lexi Hilmer, and #5, Briley Pelly. So lots of good stuff to happen tonight here. You know, the last time we did an Aero broadcast for wrestling was on December 6th, and that was the Watertown Invitational. And I failed to mention, we had a little technical difficulty with the national anthem, and all the athletes were on the south end of the gym waiting for things to start, and it was obvious after about 15 seconds it wasn't going to work, at least the national anthem. So a couple girls all of a sudden start breaking into the "Oh Say Can You See," and by the dawn's early light, we had about the whole arena singing, and it was really cool, and it was a hats-off moment. So the last action for the Arrows was they were at the Bismarck Rotary Tournament, and they were the top South Dakota school there, scoring 137 points. I think Rapid City Central was also there as well. For Pierre, they were at the Bride of the Monster tournament, which is a big tournament in the virtually all the middle of the state teams go to that in Presho. So it looks like we're almost ready for the face-off here tonight. Let's hope we have a lot of action and good wrestling amongst the girls. Our coaches tonight for Pierre, for the girls coaches for Pierre, were Matt Thorson, Kyle Seringer, and Travis Heasley. Managers Callie Gordon, Chesney Calda, Anna Rayo, and Victoria Parsons. And for the Arrows, it is Dexter Gaikowski and Kaya Pohl, I believe is her name. So good, exciting stuff. Managers Mackenzie Engelhart, Madison Gang, and Bradley Rumsa. So really excited to get back behind the mic. My name is Brian DeYoung, and I am lucky enough to they call on me, and I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a former wrestler, and just excited to be back up here again. We'll tell some stories if we have some downtime. If not, we'll just concentrate on the action. You know, for the Arrows last week at the Mid-Dakota Monster, Vanessa Anderson at 100, she was 6th. Olivia Anderson, #1 ranked, she was 1st at the Bismarck. Brooklyn Randall, she was 4th at the Biz. Nevaeh Shanbeck, she was 3-2 at the Bismarck Rotary. Allison Conrad was 3rd, going 5-1, and Eden Hawk was 4-0, and 19-1 on the season for her. So really good stuff. As for Pierre, Shaylee Speck, she was 2nd at the Bride of the Monster. She lost 6-0 to Lisa Kruger of Groton. She's ranked #1. So Lane Heasley at 107 for the Govs. She was 1-2 at the Bride. Gemma Stangland, 2-2. She's at 114. Jersey Lewis, she was 2-2 at the Bride. That's at 120. Danny Rinksmeyer, She's undefeated on the season. She was obviously first at the Bride, being undefeated. And Lexi Hilmler, she was first at the Bride. She's 14-1 on the year. Kesri Brenning, 3-1 at the Bride of the Monster, finished second place. Ireland Templeton, 13-1 on the year. She was defeated in the final by Peyton Hellman, and she's ranked #1. And we'll just keep finishing up here. Thought we were going to have a break in the action for the national anthem, but not quite. At 152, Abby Lewis, defending state champ. She was first at the Bride. Jadis Stanky, she was 2-3 at the Bride, finished 6th place. Cayenne Traversy Johnson at 185 was 5th at the Bride, and Briley Pelly 5th at the Bride as well, went 3-2 on that. So let's hope that catches you up. Everybody is getting back in the swing of it. One thing we need to make a special announcement for is Olivia Anderson is the wrestler of the week in South Dakota girls wrestling. She was able to get 100 wins on the season. So I'll maybe take just a little breather here while they do the announcing of the face-off, and then we'll get started. So
Please stand as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem. Remind all in attendance.
Check that first. We're doing the national anthem. So stand by. Thanks for tuning in tonight. It's going to be a good night of wrestling here at the Civic Arena, Watertown and Pierre.
Military personnel veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
All right. Tonight we'll have a few cameras rolling. So we have the main camera, which is kind of looking down at the mat from near the top here of the east side of the Civic Arena. And we have a couple of ground cameras too. So looking forward to, we have the need to switch off the cameras and get some up close and personal. We're going to do it. So announcing the face-offs here tonight. Shaylee Speck for Pierre at 100, and she'll be facing Vanessa Anderson. So Shaylee Speck 13-3 on the year. Vanessa Anderson 17-11 for the Arrows. Aubrey Fisher for the Governors and Olivia Anderson for the Arrows. Olivia 19-1 on the year. 114, Gemma Stangland, the freshman for the Pierre. And Brooklyn Randall for the Arrows, 22-3 on the year. Gemma is 10-5. Jersey Lewis at 126 for the Governors, 6-8. And Jaron Feber for the Arrows, 3-10 on the year.
At 126 pounds for Pierre,
Danny Rinksmeyer, 18-0 for the Govs at 126. Josie Altoff, the senior, at 126. Peyton Traversy gets a dub at 132 for the Governors. Addie Gustavusson for the Pierre, Arrows with no entrant there, also at 138, gets a win. And Olivia Stenson at 145 will get a win. Abby Lewis, ranked number 1, 13-2 on the year for the Govs. And the 8th grader, Nevaeh Shanbeck, she's 9-5 on the year. Jada Stanky at 165 gets the dub, as the Arrows have no entrant at that weight. Caney Traversy Johnson, 9-7 on the year. She's a senior. And she'll be facing Allison Conrad. She's number 1 ranked, 22-2 on the season. So really rolling along there. And Briley Pelly, number 5 ranked for the Governors, will be facing Eden Hawk. She's number 1. Eden's a sophomore. Briley's a freshman. Eden's 19-1 on the year. So Scott Gangle, Lake City referee, longtime referee, is the will be wearing the stripes tonight. Scott, or referee Gangle, was a athlete nearing about the time I had graduated from college. So he's been a referee for, I bet, 25 years almost now. And I think he's a good one. He works a lot of state tournaments. And I think he's pretty well respected. You know, looking ahead for the Arrows, they go to Mitchell, the Jerry Opbrock tournament on Saturday. Then next week, they have a duel with Mitchell. And then they have a triangular on January 30th with Harrisburg and Aberdeen. That's in Harrisburg. And just like that, you're jumping into February. It's the Yankton Invite on February 7th. On February 13th is the ESD tournament. And February 20th, Region 1 Wrestling in Clark. And the state tournament, which is all combined, it's out in Rapid City at the Monument, February 27th, 28th, and March 1st. So we are officially at the halfway point. It looks like we're going to kick this thing off about 6:45 for actual wrestling this evening. So and here we go. We'll get the entrance checked in. And we're going to get started. So. And we are going to start at the bottom of the lineup. So Shaylee Speck and Vanessa Anderson. Vanessa is an 8th grader. Shaylee is a sophomore. You know, Vanessa's had a nice season so far. You know, 6 at the Bismarck, 2nd at the Floyd Florent. And we got locked up, and there's a takedown for Speck. 2 or 3. I've got to get that. I've almost got that hardwired now. That is now a 3-point takedown. So again, new rule: only 1 point of contact needs to stay in bounds for a wrestler to score or to keep the action going. So that means a foot, an elbow, a toe, whatever. If one of those is inside the line, it's the match will continue. So Speck got an arm bar and a tight waist with the arm, and Vanessa able to defense out of that. 1 minute gone on this Thursday night. of action. Now Speck with an armbar on the left side. Vanessa's just trying to look away and kind of defense. There isn't a whole lot a person can do once they get that arm. A person has to try to work out of it. Now she's got an arm bar and wrist and gets a turn. So, and referee Gangle with some back points. And Vanessa able to roll out of that. 4-point near fall for Speck now with a 7-0 lead with 15 seconds to go here, first period. And she's trying to tilt, and there's a tilt and some back points too. Good camera shot of that. Vanessa's almost escaping, not quite. That'll be a 4 near fall, so no escape points for Vanessa, so that'll be 11-0 after 1. Speck chooses both up. You know, again, Speck was second at the Monster, prior to the Monster last week, second at Rapid City, and she was second at the Watertown Invite. So she was fourth in 2024 at the 100, and you know, Vanessa was also as an honorable mention for this week's ratings in the Dakota Grappler. So. There's a shot by Speck, and she's able to turn that into 2 points. Vanessa gets the release, so 14-1 now, Speck with the lead. There's a shot and a fireman carry. Vanessa with the defense. And, oh, she Shaley hung with the move. Vanessa tried to counter, but 3 points awarded for the takedown, and that will get the Lady Governors out to a 5-0 lead in this match. 17-1, Speck over Vanessa Anderson. Next up, 107, number 1 ranked, and wrestler of the week, Olivia Anderson. She's 19-1 on the year. And quick shot by the Pierre wrestler. Olivia able to defend and gets her own double leg, and there will be 2 points. There's 3 points right there for near fall and no backers. So, yeah, Olivia first at the Bismarck, first at the Floyd Perron this year, first at the Battle for the Paddle down there in Canton. She, if you win, you get a paddle as a kind of something nifty. Olivia with an armbar wrist combo. There she has it again, and walking over the head, and there's some back points. There's a 4-point award near fall there, so 7-0. Olivia Anderson out quick here. Just a minute gone in this first period. Olivia with that left side arm bar yet. And looks like a wrist. Defended well by the Pierre wrestler. Oh, great shot there right on the mat with that much better shot coming right at you with the back points. But nothing awarded. 20 seconds to go here, first period. Olivia tried for a 3/4 Nelson, and I could hear the Pierre coach selling belly out, because that's the defense to that. You gotta, if you give space, that 3/4 Nelson is an easy, makes it a lot easier to pull that off. But defended that off the mat, 2 seconds to go here, first period. It's gonna end with Olivia up 7-0 after one. All right, Pierre wrestlers going on top. Olivia will be in the reserve or down position. Mini caution for the Pierre athlete, so, and here we're off. Olivia up to her feet quick, and nothing awarded yet. Still no skate point. There's going to be one for the separation, so 8-0. Olivia Anderson on top. There's a shot by Olivia, double leg, and able to turn that into 3 more. So 11 now for Olivia. I think Olivia, she's 19-1 on the year. I think her one loss was when she was at 120 for the in the Watertown invite way back on December 6th. So used a cross face and got, it looks like, 2 points, 2 more near fall, so 13-0. And there's a cross face cradle. And she's able to get a turn for, and that'll be a 3 near fall, and that'll equal 16-0. So Olivia Anderson with a technical fall ties this match at 5 apiece. All right, up next.
Wrestling for Pierre at 114 pounds, Gemma Stangland. And wrestling for your arrows at 114 pounds, Randall.
All right, Brooklyn Randall for the arrows, and Gemma Stangland, she's a freshman. Gemma 10-5 on the year. She was 2-2 last week at the Bride, and she was a second place finisher in the Watertown invite early in the season. Brooklyn 22-3 on the year. She's in for a shot and defended, and there is a lateral drop right to the back. And well executed for a 3-point takedown, and it looks like a 4-point near fall. So again, out quick, 7-0. So Brooklyn, she was 4th at Bismarck, but had a run of first place finishes. First at the Floyd, first at Rapid City, first at the Watertown invite. She was 2nd at the Battle for the Paddle, and she was a 6th place finisher last year at 107. So lots of wrestling experience for her. Again, she's got the wrist and arm bar, and she's trying to work over, and Stangland able to get that arm release. So getting back to a neutral position. There's Brooklyn with a half, trying to work a power half to get a turn, and we'll just kind of start anew with the breakdown. Gemma was 4th at the ESD last year. There's the lift and return. And we're going to end this first period 7-0. So choice going to Pierre, and they're going to choose both on their feet. There's a nice replay of that lift and return by Brooklyn. Decent crowd here tonight at the arena. On the west side, there is a nice crowd in a couple of the bleacher areas and in the stands, or in the chairs where I usually sit. No score here going on in the second period so far. Athletes tied up, just pummeling in and in. Both athletes just tying up. Looks like Brooklyn's trying to set up a shot or a duck under. There's a shot by Gemma and got that near leg. Brooklyn's trying to counter. She can see if Gemma can turn the corner here and get a score. And ultimately had to just let that go, and 3-point takedown for Brooklyn. So 10-0 now with a wrist and half combo. Stangland doing a nice job looking away. Really making it difficult for a turn, and Randall goes with the double arm bar now. That got away. 25 seconds to go here, second period. There was a double arm bar, but now able to slip out of that with Stangland. And short time now here, just 8 seconds to go, second period. And we're going to end this second period 10-0. Randall still in control, but I've been watching a little bit of high school wrestling on other YouTube channels and other features, and it is amazing how fast, with the 3-point takedown and the 4-point near fall, how fast a person can go from the penthouse to a different place. Because when you can score 7 just like that in 10 seconds, you can tighten things up real quick. Reversal there by Brooklyn, adding to her lead. 12-0. There's a deep half, and again, not quite off the mat. Brooklyn pulling her opponent back in. A lot of effort expended by both these athletes here. Here's a 3/4 Nelson that's trying to be hooked up. Gemma had flattened out nice to counter that pinning combination from Brooklyn. And we're going to start again. Brooklyn's got that near leg kind of seized up. Now there's a stalling call, or warning stalling on Brooklyn, or Gemma there. 50 seconds to go. You know, Brooklyn's really had a ton of pressure down in this match, and it's tough to do anything. There's a wrist and a half and a turn. And we'll see if Randall can get the fall or no. Nope, there'll just be 4 points awarded for near fall, and that is a technical fall. So 16-0 Brooklyn Randall over Gemma Stangland. That'll put the Arrows up 10-5 early on in this duel with the Lady Governors. All right, at 120, Jaron Feber. All right, Jaron Feber, she's been a regular for the Arrows since 2022. And Jersey Lewis, she was 6-8 on the year. She's a 7th grader. Jaron, I think, is a senior. Jersey was 2-2 last week at the Bride of the Monster, and 7th place at the Watertown Invite earlier this year. So, all right. Both girls tying up. Jersey trying to do like a pull down, shuck by. And there's a little bit of that, and doing a spin drill. Nothing awarded yet, though. Excellent defense and counter by Jaron to get back to her feet without giving up any points. Still 0-0. There's Jaron with the headlock. And nothing awarded yet. Nothing awarded yet. On the edge of the mat. Still no points awarded. Still nothing awarded yet. Both athletes technically are on their feet, and there's a three-point takedown for Jersey Lewis. So, and Lewis quickly with the wrist and half. Jaron picking off that half Nelson, but it's a nice and deep one. Jersey switched over to the left side half. Short time of, well, 30 seconds left to go first period. She's got that half Nelson now on the left side, and she's almost got a turn. She got the wrist and the half. Jaron keeps picking off that half Nelson and gets out of trouble there. Nothing going on. There is the wrist and half turn, and there's referee Gangle getting some counts. And that'll probably be about a 4-point near fall there. So 7-0 for the Lady Governor wrestler, Jersey Lewis, jumping out early over Jaron Feber. All right, Jaron's going to go in the bottom position, and Jersey is going to load up on top, and we'll see if Jaron can get some offense from the bottom. So, right from the jump, Jersey had a kind of a cradle, but Jaron able to find an opening, gets an escape, now 7-1. Jaron trying to work some offense here and get back in this thing. There you go, getting some space, moving back toward the center circle, and both athletes tied up tight there. All right, 1:10 to go here, second period, 7-1. Jersey Lewis with the lead over Jaron Feber of the Arrows. Both athletes kind of doing a little head position fighting. Just trying to, you can get underneath somebody's head or the head out of the way. It opens up scoring opportunities and angles. Referee Gangle, you can see him in the background there. He's saying, offense, girls, offense. There's a shot by Jersey with Jaron sprawling down hard and trying to counter that with her own trying to do almost a modified bull rush into her to just knock Jersey off balance. There you look at that for clinging and clanging right there. No points awarded, you can see there by referee Gangle, and there's going to be 3 awarded right near the end of the second period. So Jersey Lewis is going to take a 10-1 lead going into the third period. Her choice, and she is going to do, I take that back. It was Jaron's choice, and Jaron's going on top. So we'll see how she can do from there. Oh, Jaron's got those long arms and look at, she's got that cross face in. I almost thought a little bit of a pancake situation. But she released that and tried to work something else. Now trying to get a cradle. A far side cradle. Jersey's got that near arm, and she's trying to almost get a roll. Jaron's trying to recover here, and there she's got a cradle on. Just to kind of roll back a little bit to try to get a turn. There's a turn. There's Jaron with the turn. And there's some back points right there. And that's a nice cradle there, folks. There's a 4-point near fall. Jersey Lewis able to break that hold. So just like that, Jaron Feber down 10-5 now with that 4-point near fall and has a little momentum going her way. 45 seconds to go, though, just third period. Poor Jersey's got her mouthpiece around her nose area, but she's able to square up and got a single leg. Still, Feber still in control. Referee Gangle's going to let him work through this combination probably without calling a stalemate. And there's Jaren just ultimately has to release her hold and gets up a 2-point reversal. So 12-5, Jersey Lewis with the lead, and I think that's how it's going to end. So excellent match between two gals. 12-5, Jersey Lewis over Jaren Feber of the Arrows. And that'll move the dual score to 10 for the Arrows and 8 for the Lady Governors. All right, 125, Danny Rinksmeyer, the senior. She's ranked number 2 in the state, and she'll be facing Josie Altoff, the senior, as well. Yes, and Danny, she placed third in the state 2023. She was a runner-up last year at 2024, and again, undefeated so far this year. She's does a single on Josie and able to run the pipe and able to get a 3-point near fall. So she's got an arm locked in and lets that go. Yeah, Danny, again, she was first also at the Watertown Invite, at the Rapid City Invite, of course, first at the Bride. And so still 3-0. Just about a minute gone here in the first period. Josie Altoff and Danny Rinksmeyer. Danny's got an underneath arm and probably just going to try to add kind of the old move you over, because you can't do anything else when the arm goes with the rest of your body. So she's got some near fall, and there's a pin right there. 120, 114 into the first period. Danny Rinksmeyer over Josie Altoff. That'll move the dual score to 14 for the Governors, Lady Governors, and 10 for the Arrows. So now the Arrows will have a couple of forfeits here in a row. So Traversy getting a forfeit win at 132 for the Governors. At 138, Gustafson for the Governors getting a forfeit win at 138. Olivia Stenson gets the win at 145, as the Arrows had no entrant at that weight. And all right, moving up the ladder. We'll see where we're at here. Another athlete for Pierre got in a forfeit. I think that was Abby Lewis that got her hand raised, and for the Jada Stanky, all A little bit of a lineup change. Nevaeh Shanbeck moving up a weight class, and she'll be wrestling Jada Stanky. So Nevaeh, she was 9-5 on the year. She's an 8th grader. 3-2 last weekend at the Bismarck Invite, at the Rotary, we should call it the Bismarck Rotary Invite. Jada was a 6th place finisher, 2-3 on the year so far. Getting some honorable mention for the rankings at the Dakota Grappler. Jada's a junior. She was also a state qualifier in 2024, so she has some wrestling experience. So early on here, Nevaeh and Jada. And team scores moved to 38-10. Close quarter single by Jada Stanky gets a 3-point takedown, and Nevaeh getting the escape. Now 3-1, just 1 minute into the action here. 7-12 tonight on Thursday Night Wrestling. Both wrestlers just kind of getting to know ya. That's what I like to call it, when you just kind of getting the feel of each other, tying up and breaking and tying up and breaking. Looking for an opening, looking for something you like, looking for something you can, get a score on, something you're comfy with. So there's a double leg attempt there by Stanky of Pierre, and Nevaeh changes off. Nevaeh defended the double leg. Now she switched to a single leg, and she's got a lift, and well defended by Jada Stanky, and she's able to roll that into a 3-point takedown. So 6-1, 2 takedowns for the Pierre Lady Governor wrestler, and escape for Nevaeh. So still evenly matched, although 6-1, and this is an evenly matched match yet. So nobody's out of anything with that 3-point takedown and the near falls that you can accumulate so quick. So Stanky gets a crunch breakdown right from the jump here. Trying to get a hand at the waist and an armbar tilt. And there's an armbar wrist, well defended by Nevaeh. If I didn't say, Nevaeh also getting honorable mention on the Dakota Grappler, and she's an 8th grader, so. Double wrist turn attempt by Jada, but defended well. And no change there for Nevaeh Shanbeck. She looks like she's getting ready to pop a move here. .55 seconds to go here, second period. Stanky with a 6-1 lead. Stanky got out in front just a little bit, but her coaching staff, maybe you heard him yell, "Get behind her." So she released what she was doing and kind of got a reset. No score in the second period yet, but both athletes working hard to get something going. There's a wrist and there's a half, and there's a turn for Stanky. Nevaeh. And Nevaeh was working at it, but Stanky getting a fall, the junior from Pierre, at the 3:47 mark. That adds to the Governor's lead to 44-10. All right, next up, Allison Conrad for the Arrows, the junior. And for the Governors, Cayenne Traversy Johnson. Cayenne is a senior. She's 9-7 on the year. Allison 22-2. So ranked number 1. honorable mention love for Traversy Johnson for the Governors this week on the grapplers. So, you know, Allison was second in state last year in 2024. She was fifth in 2023. She's got a lot of wrestling experience. She's in on a single leg and able to get a score there for, so up 3-0 and right to it, trying to get an arm bar. Traversy Johnson, she also state qualifier in 2024. She was fourth at the Watertown Invite. She was fifth last week at the Mid-Dakota Monster Bride. And Allison, you know, a lot of wins this year. First at the Floyd Ferran, first at the Paddle down there in Canton, second in Rapid City, and first at the Watertown Invite. So really nice year for the junior. 1 minute gone, no change in the score, still 3-0. Allison with the lead. There's Allison with the crossface, and Allison with some excellent pressure down. Yeah, that's just tough to try to mount any type of escape or scoring when you're on the bottom. I mean, you look at Allison's shoulder area, I mean, centered right over the top of her opponent. Her shoulders are right over the top of her opponent's shoulders, right down the middle, and that's it's just tough to try to work up to a base from there. So 3 seconds to go here, first period. It's going to end 3-0. Allison Conrad with that, making that takedown stand up. The Pierre athlete is choosing up, so Allison will be in the down position. Allison quickly to her feet and no change, but there's going to be an escape here pretty quick unless Kayan Pelly can rally up, and there's the 2 reversals. So 5-0, Allison Conrad over Kayan Traversy Johnson. There's Allison trying to get a lift. There's a breakdown to her base with that underneath arm. And we'll see if she can just torque her way over. Lets that go and working for something else. No power half being applied by Allison. Nice job by Cayenne to, you know, defense that. It's just tough to do just when there's pressure down and your opponent's pretty good. So there's a cross face. And Pelly back to, or excuse me, Traversy Johnson back to her base. And 40 seconds to go here, second period, still 5-0. Takedown for Allison Conrad and got a reversal in the second period. That amounts your scoring. Again, the Arrow wrestler, or the Lady Arrows, we're going to be in Mitchell in 2 days at the Jerry Oprock, 9 o'clock start there at the Mitchell High School. And we're going to get a warning stalling from referee Gangle on Allison, to kind of motioning, move off to one side or another. That said, 11 seconds to go in the second period. And that's how it's going to end here. Still 5-0. And Allison's going both on her feet, so. Allison with the head tie up and goes to a single leg, changing off to a double. defended well by Traversy Johnson, and there's the three-point takedown. Traversy Johnson was trying to defend it, and sometimes you just have to give it up and start again. So 8-0 now, minute 30 to go in the match. Allison Conrad with the lead. There's a nice near lift of the leg and the underarm. We used to call that the Pooh Bear back in my wrestling days. Not sure why it ever got that name, but it stuck, and everybody knew what it was when you called the move the Pooh Bear. So Allison let that go and now is working on the left side. Under a minute now. Allison's got the old mat burn ride on the right side with that wrist and leaning into that, into the tricep of her opponent. But no scoring other than that takedown in this third period. So 2 takedowns and a reversal. Explain your scoring for Allison Conrad. 20 seconds to go here in the third period. Allison tried to cross face and looking for something else. Traversy Johnson came to her feet and was broken back down, and this one's going to end 8-0. Allison Conrad over Cayenne Traversy Johnson. So that'll move the team score to 13 for the Arrows, and the Lady Governors, forgive me, 14 for the Arrows and 38 for the Lady Governors. So all right. Ending the night for the ladies, Eden Hawk. She's 19-1 on the year for the Arrows, #1 ranked. She's a sophomore, and she'll be facing Briley Pelly, who's a freshman, ranked #5. Briley's 10-7 on the year. 5th last week at the Mid-Dakota Bride. 3-2, had a nice 5-match effort there. Eden, 4-0 up there in Bismarck. You know, Eden's only has 1 loss on the year, and that is to Jessica Height of Custer. And Height has wrestled, or Hitty, H-I-T-E of Custer, and she's ranked #2 at a different weight class. There's a nice, you know, we'll call it a squeeze and a corral and a kind of a ease over for a 3-point takedown. Briley's 4th in Watertown back on December 6th. She was 7th up in Rapid City, and again 5th at the Bride, so only a freshman. Eden, the near arm bar, near arm as an arm bar, and both athletes just kind of seeing where this match is going to go right now. So you can tell both got a lot of respect for each other. Moving a little cautious, maybe that's the best way to say it. You know, you don't want to get try to force the issue sometimes. Sometimes you got to let the match come to you. So 32 seconds to go in the first period. Eden Hawk with that 3-0 takedown lead over Briley Pelly. Ooh, Eden's got that arm bar and that wrist. And now she's got a lift and a half turn, 3/4 turn, and there's a full turn. Back points are being counted by referee Gangle. Pelly able to fight off that, off her back for the near fall. Still in a pinning combination though is Hawk, and the period is going to run out. So 4-point near fall awarded to Eden Hawk, 7-0 after 1. Hawk is going to defer her choice, and Bradley Pelly is going to go on top. So again, Hawk, the sophomore, and Pelly, the freshman. These two will likely wrestle a lot coming up in the next couple of years. You know, as long as both stay healthy. So Hawk kind of trying to tripod up. Pelly able to knock a leg out and return her to the referee's position. Quick spin by Hawk, and now she's facing her opponent, and a nice gather with a single leg. No change yet, but it was just such a nice turn inside and a quick turn, and there's still no change, but they might get a defensive fall here, and we did. You don't see that very often, but it does happen. Eden Hawk able to get a roll and just kind of steady herself on the top of her opponent, and her opponent got flipped to her back and worked to her advantage, and this one's going to end that way. Pinfall for Hawk at the 2:41 mark. This match ends, I think, 38 Lady Governors and 20 for the Arrows. So again, the boys will start here in a little bit. It won't be about a 5-minute break. So again, quick review. Speck got the win for Pierre at 100. Olivia Anderson at 107 for the Arrows got the win. Brooklyn Randall in a good match with Gemma Stangland got the win at 114. Rinksmeyer able to catch a win over Josie Althoff. The Arrows forfeited at 32, 38, and 45. And at 152, Nevaeh Shanbeck faced Jada Stanky, and Stanky got the win there. Allison Conrad with the win at 185. Even Hawk got the win for the Arrows. So maybe we'll take a couple-minute break here. We'll prep up for the boys, and don't go away. 7:28, I suspect we'll be back here about 7:31. So get yourself a drink, and we'll return in just a couple minutes. You're watching Arrow TV right from the Civic Arena. I guess we could talk a little bit of wrestling here. I just needed a quick refresh break. Pierre and the Governor, or Pierre and Watertown, a couple of pretty good programs for the boys programs over the years. And we're going to have a good match here tonight. The rankings-wise, at least individually, the Arrows are ranked number 5 this week, and the Governors 10th in individuals. But in the dual rankings, Arrows are number 2 to Sturgis. Aberdeen Central is 3rd, and Pierre is 4th. So pretty even Steven when it comes to these matches tonight. Shea Richter for the Arrows, ranked number 2. Alec Odikoven, he's ranked number 1 at 132. For the Governors, Gage Lauer, ranked number 1 at 138. Micah Houck, ranked #1 for the Arrows at 285. So there's a couple of regulars that are not in the lineup for the Arrows tonight, but we will make do with them. You know, the boys' schedule, again, is moving right along as well. We're wrestled tonight against Pierre, and they have a little bit of a break here. They have the Mitchell Triangular on the 24th, and then we're going to the Sioux City Heelan Wrestling Classic down there in Sioux City on the 25th. Aberdeen Central and Harrisburg for the Aberdeen Central Triangular. That's up in Aberdeen. That's on, again, January 30th. And then it's just tournament time. Yanked an invite on February 8th. State A duels in Pierre. I'm sure the Arrows will be involved. That's on February 15th. That's a one-day tourney. Right now, I think the Arrows are the #2 seed. And the week after, February 22nd, Region 1A. That's down in West Central for the state qualifying, and then all classes, girls and boys, A, B, and everything in between at the Rapid City Monument, February 27th, 28th, and March 1st. So again, we are probably at the official halfway point of the season. The Arrows' last action was at the Bismarck tournament. They finished second, and they were the top South Dakota team there. There was only a couple of South Dakota teams, them and Rapid City Central, I think. 188 points scored for the Arrows, which is a lot of points. Bismarck Century won the tournament with, I think, a 203. So real nice efforts for the Arrows there. We'll kind of walk through them here. On the face-offs, and we'll get more into it tonight. So we're going to get this one kicked off about 7:35. We're getting ready for the face-offs. Arrow theme song in the background. And, of course, the Arrows coached by Chaz Welch, assisted by longtime assistant coach Aaron Eltoff and Nick O'Connor. Managers, of course, Mackenzie Engelhart, Madison Jing, and Bradley Rumsa. The Governors coached by Sean Lewis. He's been there a number of years. Good staff out there, too. Jebin Keys, Kirby Cronin, Eric Williams, and Chad Urig. All really have all those fellas deep wrestling backgrounds in South Dakota. So all right, we're just about ready to get this thing kicked off. Again, no change in referee. Scott Gangle will ref this one too, doing double duty tonight. And we're going to enter the Sandman for our leadoff music here tonight. So the face-off for tonight, again, brought to you by Arrow TV. We thank you for tuning in. So Gable Urig at 107 for the Jonah Anderson, the 7th grader, leading off the Arrows tonight. Gable Urig for Pierre. Bodie Minder for the Arrow, or for Pierre, and Chase Matthews at 113. Walker West at 120 for the Govs. And Shea Richters at 120. Joey Franks for the Arrow. Joey Franks, the freshman for Pierre at 126. He'll be squaring off against Brody Randall, the junior for the Arrows. 132, Alex Odikoven for the Govs. And Cutler Swenson having a real nice year for the Arrows. He's a sophomore. He'll be squaring off against Odikoven. 138, Rowdy Minning, the junior from Pierre, be facing the Hurricane. Gage Lauer for the Arrows. All right, 144, Talon Lightfield, the 8th grader for Pierre, will be facing Kessler Swenson for the Arrows. He's a junior. At 152, the senior Max Hunsley from the Governors and sophomore Seth Bourne for the Arrows. All right. Couple of changes for the Governors. Will Eilers at 157. He's a freshman. He'll be squaring up with Marcus Pitkin. Well, Will Eilers got announced at 2 weight classes, but Landon Lewis will be wrestling 165 also for the Arrows. All right, Sam Larson, sophomore for the Governors at 175. He'll be wrestling Kate Kemper for the Arrows. All right, at 190, Kalo Steely, sophomore from the Govs, will be facing Jensen Winches. He's a freshman for the Arrows. All right, Elijah Boucher at 215 versus Ethan Wenches for our Arrows. He's a senior. And I did not catch the Pierre wrestler's name. I believe it's Devin Binger will be wrestling Micah Hawk at the top of the lineup for the Arrows. So, like I said, we're going to get this one going here in just a minute. We'll have the official coin flip. And, you know, it's fun to have athletes, you know, and you see him around a little bit. The Dynamite Dozen this week had Micah Hawk, Shea Richter, both in the top 5, but leading it off, Gage Lauer. So pretty exciting for those athletes getting right in there and getting some recognition. So. Yeah, and if we didn't know it enough, announcers saying get your state tournament tickets in the corner. So if you're here, I guess you can go there and grab a couple of tickets. They're going to sell them for a couple of matches here. So leading it off tonight at 107, Jonah Anderson, the 7th grader, versus Gable Urig. And Urig, no score yet, but there's 3 right there. He's a freshman. He's 18-4 on the year. He got 2nd place at the Monster, and there is a cradle. And pumping that left or right arm is Gangle for the back points there. Gable Urig, runner-up last year at 106 in the A's, so he's the real deal there. And Jonah Anderson, and there is a pinfall. So 47 seconds. Governors get on the board right away with Gable Urig, getting them out to a 6-0 lead. right, 114.
Wrestling at 113 pounds for Pierre, podium leader. Wrestling at 113 pounds for Arrows, Chase Minder.
All right, Bodie Minder, the 8th grader for Pierre. He's 9-11 on the year, and he's facing Chase Matthews, the sophomore for the Arrows. Matthews, really solid year so far. 19-5 on the year for the Arrows. Got 5th last week at Bismarck. 4-2 in that tournament. Chase, 8th place there at Rapid City early in the year, and was 1st place in the last at the Sioux Falls, Washington meet in the Floyd Ferrand. So getting a win over Owen Cirque of Beersford, Alcester, Hudson. So Bodie Minder, he was 4th place at the Monster in Presho, 4-2 on the weekend. And he also wrestled in Rapid City, but did not place out in the Rapid City tournament. So, albeit he was up a weight class at 120 here. There's a nice single leg by Chase, and there's going to be a 3-point takedown. Chase Matthews, he's ranked number 4 this week in the grappler. Bodie Minder getting some honorable mention. So 35 seconds to go here at 113. Chase trying to throw in a cross-body ride, but more just kind of hanging out on top more than anything with that wrist and half. With a near side boot sort of dug in. Still got that half Nelson in, short time. And this one's going to end first period 3-0 via the takedown for Chase Matthews. So. All right. Minder defers, and Chase Matthews, he's choosing down for starting this second period. Again, ESD wrestling tonight, Thursday night wrestling. Minder with a nice long half Nelson in. Trying to put the early control on this second period. There, Chase is able to pull that off. Again, Minder doing a nice job on top, just kind of controlling the wrist, controlling the action. Getting a breakdown there. Look at that great camera shot right there, looking right at the athletes. Minder again, tough on top. Matthews got a hold of the leg. Now he's trying to do a little turn in and get Minder off balance. And Minder able to recover. So under 1 minute to go, second period, still 3-0. Chase Matthews with the lead. Minder again, just keeping that half Nelson and kind of a little half leg in, half leg out. And now he's got a pinch ride, and we're going to be not quite off the mat. Nope. And a quick scramble by Matthews. No change. But Matthew in a position maybe to get a reversal or something out of this. Minder doing a nice job. Controlling the near leg and able to recover, and no change of points. So still 3-0. Chase Matthews under 10 seconds to go here, second period. And that's how it's going to end. So at least for that period, Minder's choice, and he is going to go on top again, I think. So he's looking for the turn, and Chase Matthews looking to get out of there and build on his lead. They're both to their feet. Chase trying to get some little bit of hand control, and he did. No change in points. No change yet. So Minder's still in control, but Matthews looking. There we go. There's a 2-point reversal right there. So well executed by the Watertown wrestler. And he now leads 5-0. There's Chase with the pinch ride. And both these guys got long features, so they can really put the torque on you. Minder almost had like an inside switch, but he thought better of it. And Chase went for an inside cradle, but he decided just to go back to something different too. So under a minute to go, and we're going to get a technical violation of some type. I think it was a clasped hands. So that'll add 1 to Bodie Minder. There's Minder to his feet, but returned by Matthews. Matthews got that near leg kind of trapped, and it's hard to get out of there if you're on the bottom. That one of your appendages is kind of locked down. Not so right now, but Chase doing a nice job just keeping pressure down. There's another nice lift and return. And we're gonna maybe end this one 5-1, it looks like. Chase has got him locked up, and Minder's trying to get out, but he's got that leg, and that's how it's going to end, 5-1. So the Arrows on the board at 113 with Chase Matthews getting a 5-1 decision over Bodie Minder. Yeah, I failed to mention that Matthews also a state qualifier in 2024 at 106. So, all right. At 120, Walker West, he's 10-9 on the year. He's a junior, and he's facing Shea Richter. Richter 18-1 on the year, ranked number 2 in the state. So Richter got to a takedown and a release or escape for West, so 3-1, and we're getting off the mat. So Walker West, honorable mention this week in the grappler. West is a junior, and quick takedown there by Richter and deep half Nelson, and he's working a half Nelson tilt. Defended by West. So Richter 18-1 on the year, as I mentioned. First at Sioux Falls, Washington invite, first at the Floyd, first at the Bismarck. He was 5th at 106 in 2023. He was 5th last year in 2024. Of course, he wasn't an Arrow those times, so we're happy to have him here in our lineup. He got his only loss on the year is to Tyler Woodring of T. And had that happen at the Rapid City invite. There is the good old country boy, and that's a flip and a pinfall. So pinfall at the 128 mark of the first period. Shea Richter getting the Arrows back on top, 9-6. Very explosive, very exciting wrestling there, Shea Richter. So, all right. Brody Randall for the Arrows, the junior. He's going up against Joey Franks. He is a freshman for the Governors. Randall 15-4 on the year, and Both these guys moving quick. There's a couple of almost takedowns, and there we are. Randall jumping out 3-0 in the first 20 seconds. Randall went 3-1 at Bismarck last week. 6 matches, 5-1. So lots of wrestling there. He was second at Rapid City. It's second at the Floyd. He's got a cradle loaded up, and there's back points. Very well done. Of course, Brody was 5th in the Bs at 106 in 2023 and was a state champ in the Bs at 113 last year. So, again, got familiar with Brody. He was our punt returner for that state championship football team. So, escape by Joey Franks, and we got a little injury time. So, Franks will get 1 for an escape. And it looked like Brody took one right in the old frontal lobe there. He'll get looked at. Here's a little bit, yes. Yep, there's a nice highlight of Richter, and takedown by Richter. So just moving ahead for the Aero Wrestling. Aero boys again off this weekend, which is unusual. But then it gets back up to Sioux City, Heeland for a tournament, triangular with Aberdeen and Harrisburg. And we're going to be good on the injury time. Brody's able to continue, both wrestlers on their feet. And 47 seconds to go here, first period. So, oh, there's a really nice gather, double leg gather by Brody. And he's out 10-0, or excuse me, 10-1. Then he throws in a leg, deep half Nelson. No points. At least I don't think referee Gangle awarded any points there. And Brody's got that half Nelson and wrist in half, and nope, no points awarded. So kind of back to square one. And there is a far side cradle. If Brody's going to get something, he has to do it quick. And unable to score on that, but we're going to end the first period 10-1 and a lot of action. Brody Randall on top of Joey Franks of Pierre. So and right back to it, Brody is on the down position, and here we go. Brody moves really well out there, you know, just all that action is just moving forward. I mean, that's just a really tough way to go when your opponent or someone like Randall is offense, offense, offense. It's all about scoring and staying on top. And he got the reversal right from the jump, so 12-1 now. Randall over Franks. Franks almost with a sit-out escape, but Randall able to gather him in again. Randall putting a lot of pressure, trying to get that arm out for a arm bar, and he just moves back in the recovery position. And 1 minute to go here, second period. There's a cradle, and wait and see where it goes. Fast kind of had a nice, able to, you know, flatten out, and Brody's able to get a cradle and score some near falls on the edge of the mat there. And that's going to do it with the 4-point near fall, 16-1. Brody Randall over Joey Franks at 126. right.
Representing 132 pounds from Pierre, wrestling for the Arrows at 132 pounds, Swenson.
Yeah, 132, #1 ranked Alex Odde, 19-3 on the year for the Governors. He's a junior. He's facing sophomore Cutler Swenson. Cutler's had a fine year for the Arrows, 20-6 on the year, 4th place last week at Bismarck, Bourne 5-2, 7 matches, so really well done. Odde been around a long time. He's won a lot of matches. 3rd place at 106 in 2022, 2nd runner-up at 113 in 2023, 5th place last year at 132. So both these guys locked up, standing tall. Let's see if Cutler can do something. And Odde with a high crotch single leg, changing off to a double, and no points yet. Nothing doing yet. You hear people yelling, scoot, scoot, scoot for Cutler, and nice little tumble. No points awarded, and Odde right back in on that single leg, and with Cutler really sprawling down hard. And good action there. Referee Gangle blowing the whistle to get a stalemate. We're going to get a fresh start from the middle of the circle. Cutler first at Sioux Falls, Washington, mid-December, 3rd at the Floyd, and 4th place last week at Bismarck. So almost a year's arm drag for Odde. Odde, he was 2nd place last week at the Monster, and there's a double leg he turned into a takedown for up 3-0 and right back to a cradle, and that'll do it for the first period. So 3-0 Odde with that late takedown takes the lead. Odde defeated last week in the Monster in a really good match, by Gavin Braun of Kimball White Lake Platte Geddes. Braun's been a long time. If you follow Class B wrestling, he's been wrestling a long time too. Wins a bunch of matches for those guys. So both on their feet. 2nd period start with Odde 3-0 lead. Both those guys now, Odde with a Russian tie, and Swenson trying to push the head away and try to defend that, and both guys kind of decided, let's break that, start again. Odde in on a single leg, pulling it in good, and we'll see if he can't turn this into points. Cutler is really long, so he can do those body locks and whatnot. And I wonder how long we'll let this try to find its way through. There you go. I'll support that call by referee Gangle for a stalemate, and fresh start. 43 seconds to go in the 2nd period. Odde still up 3-0. Swenson looking to try to get on the board. All right, look at great mat side camera action right there. Oh, beautiful slide by Swenson, and see if he can't turn it into points. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Or no points. And I start turning into a fan while I'm watching this, but yeah, nothing, no points. Great move by Cutler Swenson, and kind of what you'd expect from a guy like Odde, really experienced, and he can fight that stuff off. So Excellent wrestling action. Both guys on their feet again. Start of the third period. Odde with that 3-0 lead. We'll see if both these, there's that slide by single for Swenson. Not able to produce points out of it, but there's a shot by Alex and defended by Cutler. Cutler also honorable mention in the latest Dakota Grappler ratings. 1:10 to go here, third period. Let's see if somebody can break the ice for or get through. Both these guys have had shots, but both got defended out of. There's a shot by Odde on a single leg again. See if he can't turn the corner on that. Swenson sprawling down and just trying to stuff the head, as any coach likes to say, stuff the head. And Gangle again. I think he's recognizing these are two pretty good athletes and a really good match, and let's see if somebody can tie it up or can somebody extend the lead here. So 30 seconds to go here, last period. Odde still up 3-0. Swenson with a shot. Odde with trying to slide by, and we'll get a stall warning against Odde. 15 seconds to go. Again, Odde with right arm control there. And good head position for him too, and it's going to be tough for Matthews to try to get a score. Oh, and Odde in on a double leg, and it's going to end 3-0. Excellent match. Odde the junior, gets the win over Cutler Swenson, the sophomore. All right, moving on, 138. All right. About halfway home tonight, 8:04 on the time, and Gage Lauer for the Arrows, 24-0 against Rowdy Menning, 13-5. Menning is a junior for the Governors. Of course, Lauer sophomore. Lauer ranked #1 and got a takedown, and now did the auto release and just a snatch single, more of a snatch ankle pick. And he got an immediate takedown again, and now 6-1, just like that. Menning was third last week at the Monster, and beautiful lift by Gage Lauer, and he's got the vise in, and he's able to get the pinfall 37 seconds into it. So a real nice lift and beautiful return, and able to get the win there. So again, Lauer just having a hurricane of a season again. First in 2023, first in 2024, and lots of good things going forward for him. Moving on, the Arrows now are ahead 20-9 in the duel. Kessler Swenson and Tellen Lightfield squaring off for the Governors. Lightfield, she's an 8th grader, 8-7 on the year. And Kessler Swenson, 10-12 on the year. He is a junior. So no points yet, although if he can get him to the mat, there's a 3-point takedown for Kessler Swenson. He was 1-2 last week at Bismarck. And Lightfield 1-2 himself, also at the Monster. So Kessler 4th place finish at the Sioux Falls, Washington invite, and 6th place at the Floyd Ferrand, and had a little bit of a cradle. Now And there's just a head pop out. And Lightfield able to get a 2-point reversal. So 3-2. Kessler with the lead. Just 1 minute into this match. And we're off the mat, so. Now that was a kind of interesting, if you watched closely, Lightfield was still in, but his foot came off the mat, and therefore there was no point of contact that was inbounds, and referee Gangle blew that out of bounds for the restart. So moving on, the Lightfield trying to tilt with the hand at the waist, and there's a return, and there's points there on the tilt for the tight waist and an arm bar. So Lightfield getting the 3-point near fall. Didn't break no break of the hold yet, but so no back points awarded, but he has earned them. And that's how this first period's going to end. 5-3. Lightfield back in front, benefiting or by way of that 3-point near fall. So Swenson with the deferral on his choice, and Lightfield going down. So there's a little replay of that tilt. And we'll be back to live action here in just a second. Swenson throwing in that pinch ride. He's another one of these wrestlers with long features. Getting a little bit high, but sometimes that's a strategy. For those long guys, they can just stay wiry, and they'll keep their balance and keep their leverage. And no change yet on top. But there's a reversal in favor of Lightfield, so now up 7-3. Lightfield with a pull in the arm in, and again trying for a tilt, and there he has it. And there's some right hand waving by the referee, and there is a 3-point near fall right there. No, excuse me, 4-point near fall. Not awarded, but it is there. And Lightfield again with a double arm bar. It was a wrist arm bar in half, and now it's a double arm bar. 30 seconds to go in the second period here. And that's going to be it. That's going to be a pin for Lightfield at the 3:42 mark, second period. Callan Lightfall wins by fall. All right, moving on to 152. All right, at 150, Max Hunsley for the Governors. He's a senior, 10-10 on the year. And Seth Bourne's a sophomore. He's 8-8 on the year. So both these guys trying to score right off the jump. Bourne's in on a single leg. And whizzer by Hunsley, but ultimately Bourne's with the takedown. So Bourne throws in a leg, trying to power half of Bourne's last weekend at Bismarck. 0-2 on one side, and then second place in the second chance part of that tournament. So got some good action in. Second place earlier this year at Sioux Falls, Washington, and sixth place at the Floyd. And there's a Peterson roll executed by Hunsley, but no change yet. And there's a Peterson roll. There might be some change right there and there. Sure enough, referee Gangle awards a 2-point reversal. And you don't see those Peterson rolls too much, but they are effective yet. And no backers awarded for Hunsley, who was getting some honorable mention last week in the, or this most recent Dakota Rappler. And there is a near side cradle with back points. 25 seconds to go here in the first period. And Bourne's trying to stave this off. Matt Boy, or the wire tapper, coming out to make sure things are as they are. But that is a tight cradle that Hunsley has on at the moment, and that'll end it for the first period with a 4-point near fall. So 6-3, Hunsley, after giving up that initial takedown, rallies for 6 straight. And second period, Hunsley deferred, and Bourne goes both up. So Hunsley is a very powerful looking wrestler at 150 pounds, and Bourne's a sophomore. There's a force down headlock that Bourne is able to counter out of. Again, Bourne has got that near side, or that near single leg, and still no change. And there's 2 points awarded, or 3-point takedown awarded for Hunsley, able to just kind of hang in there with that move until it worked in his favor. And he's got a near side cradle on. Bourne's able to recover but 4 points were awarded, and now this match is 10-3. Actually, I think it's 13-3. Again, no change here right now. Bourne's trying to elevate that leg and try to get in a scramble situation, and we get a warning red, as referee did not feel Hunsley was working up, but it was in kind of a tight, it was kind of in a spot where working up was a tough place to go in. So again, the scoreboard says 10-3, Hunsley with the lead, 40 seconds to go in the second period. Hunsley was a state qualifier last year at 144 pounds in 2024. And 3-3 last week, getting 8th place at the Mid-Dakota Monster. Hunsley trapping a leg and trying to cross-face Bourne's over for backers, but not really going to get that accomplished here with just this little bit of time left. And the end of the second period, again, now the score's been reflected correctly. 13-3. Hunsley with the lead, and he'll go down, and Bourne will be on top for this final 2 minutes. All right, Bourne's with a pinch ride. He needs to mount some turns here to get back into this. Hunsley Bourne's got a little high, and Hunsley's able to pop out ahead, and there's a 2-point reversal. So 15-3 now, in favor of Hunsley. And he's got a wrist and a half, but Bourne's able to fight out of that. There, Bourne's himself almost with a Peterson roll situation there, and working through it. We'll see if he can't work up that backside or work up Hunsley's back, get his head out, and maybe he can get a reversal with some back points or with some, try to get some offense going. So Hunsley still got in one of Bourne's legs trapped. And we'll see if we can't get a stalemate here out of referee Gangle. There's a little bit of action going, but mostly they stayed in the same spot here for about 40 seconds. So. Just 15 seconds to go here. And there's a warning green and one red. Take that back. There was a warning red. 1 point awarded to Bourne's. But just an extreme short time here, 10 seconds to go. And Bourne's no change at the buzzer, so this match will end 15-4. Max Hunsley over Seth Bourne's at 152. All right, at 157, Porter Hunsley. He's a freshman for the, Porter Hunsley, the freshman, 7-9 on the year. He's facing Marcus Pitkin, 18-6 on the year for our Arrows. Ranked number 5, Pitkin, of course, a junior. And 7th last week at Bismarck, 4-2. Had a couple of tough, his only losses were a couple of tough decisions. So Marcus, a real mainstay on our football team as well this year. And Pitkin trying to get a near side cradle off that front headlock, but off the mat. Pitkin also second at the Floyd and second at Sioux Falls, Washington this year. Hunsley was 2-2 at the Mid-Dakota. He also wrestled at the Rapid City tournament earlier this year, did not place. But early on, 0-0 so far. I'd like to give a shout out to our camera crew here tonight. Cammie Krisman, the junior. She's on on one. Conrad Pitkin, freshman. Ryder Shell. He's also a freshman on one. And Olivia Dakota. Welcome aboard for Arrow TV. Good action there, but no scores. 32 seconds to go in the first period. Pitkin trying to quick around the side, but Hunsley able to defend him off that. And we're going to end the first period scoreless. Scoreless after one. So Pitkin choosing down. So that'll put Hunsley on top. Just a little early start there for Pitkin, so mini caution off the whistle. And we're off again. Oh, excellent quick turn by Pitkin. However, Hunsley able to recover and has got like an opposite side half in. And Pitkin was in the area of trouble, but was able to recover out of that. And now, again, no change, but facing Hunsley. And hopefully trying to get a score here, break this deadlock. So, and we're getting a warning stalling on Porter Hunsley. That was one of the areas of, I guess, importance isn't the right word, but an area of trying to get the sport a little bit more action based was there was going to be a lot of more quicker stalling calls, and but I can't really say that's really happened. I think most referees have their own style of what they think stalling is and what they think is not. But Pitkin able to get away with one. A lot of action there. Guys jumping over each other. But Pitkin with the escape, and now 1-0 halfway through this match. Pitkin in on a single leg and is able to turn it into a double and 3 points for the first takedown of this match, now up 4-0. Pitkin with that roaring one of those arms over for an arm bar, and he's able to, and bit of a potentially dangerous situation there. You know, potentially dangerous situations come and they fade so quickly, but when Pitkin had that arm up like that and then he put it back down, and then there's always the element of it might get brought back up again, so you got to just stop it. So 20 seconds to go here in the second period. Pitkin with the arm bar or the wrist, and there's he pulling it over again, and we'll see if he can't get some quick points here. And while set up for points, there'll be no points awarded, and this second period ends 4-0 via the Pitkin escape and takedown. All right, both athletes on their feet. Pitkin with a little hand control. And there's a slide by single leg, what he did before, and real nice change off and scores another takedown. So well executed by Marcus Pitkin, and that'll move him to 7-0 over Porter Hunsley. The coaching staff for Watertown's telling Marcus, try a release and get one more for a takedown. So 7-1, and Porter, the freshman, in on a single leg with Pitkin sprawled out, and we're going to get a fresh start from the middle. So two nice looking student athletes out here wrestling on a Thursday night. So 8:25 is the time. We're at 157. There's Pitkin with that arm drag slide by, defended well, and there's another one. Single leg changing off to a double. Pitkin's trying, or excuse me, Hunsley's trying to kind of clench and hold on, but ultimately Pitkin with the 3-point takedown. So 18 seconds to go here in the third period with Pitkin in the lead, 10-1. And there's that arm bar. He's trying to work toward a country boy, but there just isn't going to be enough time for this. And this one's going to end 10-1. Marcus Pitkin gets the win for the Arrows, and that'll move this dual match to 24-19 in favor of Watertown. So right. We're moving up to 165 now, and all right, Will Eilers moving in at that 165 for Pierre. All right, Will Eilers, he's a freshman, 9-7 on the year for the Governors, and Landon Lewis, 13-9 for the Arrows, sophomore. So a couple of underclassmen banging around here tonight on a Thursday. So I'm giving Eilers the shoe of the night look. Those green shoes got a nice look to them. So Eilers last week, he was 5th place at the Mid-Dakota, 4-2 on the weekend. There's a shot by Eilers going for a fireman's carry. Kelly dump, defended by Landon Lewis. Lewis with a overhook, and there's a spin out and a throw, and no change on the edge of the mat. But Landon Lewis, he was 2-2 at Bismarck. Coach Alop encouraging his student athlete to get a shot and not do the clenching. But nevertheless, just under a minute, there's that shot that coach wanted. And he's into an outside fireman's carry, and we'll see if he can't get a dump. And unfortunately, I guess for player safety, you got to do that. Coach or referee Gangle, when somebody gets virtually over the top of somebody else's head when you're an athlete, they're going to call that potentially dangerous. And Landon put him down nice, and we'll just start fresh again. So, ooh, there's a slide by Landon Lewis. Eilers with the defense. There's a double leg by Eilers on the edge of the mat, and no change. So still 0-0, 32 seconds into this 165-pound tangle. Ooh, slide by Eilers, and we'll see if Eilers can't turn it into points. Lewis defending it really well. There he goes. Eilers tried to lift, and again, nothing there yet. Although 1 point of contact is on the mat yet. And still 1 point of contact on the mat, so nothing's going on, at least that way. And we're gonna get a end of the period call. So no score, and 0-0 after 1. So no score, but a lot of action in that first period. And Lewis will be on top with Eilers on the bottom. If I didn't say earlier, Eilers, he was 3rd place also at the Clark Willow Lake Booster Club tournament in December over there at 30 miles west of Watertown. And Landon Lewis 2nd at Sioux Falls, Washington, 6th at the Floyd Ferrand. And also competed at the Rapid City tournament earlier this year. So he's been we're gonna have a penalty point there, and that was an accident, but it does get counted. And if you didn't see what happened, it was Lewis was trying to do a little head attack, and his fingers got caught up in the earpiece of Eilers' headgear, and that's a technical violation. He gets 1 point awarded to him. And the ThePierre coaching staff was making sure that Gangle saw that, and it was quite obvious. And when referee Gangle was giving out the points, he said, "Saw it all the way, guys." So anyway, moving on to 1-0. That breaks the drought. That puts Eilers up in front, and Bourne just gives him the release. So now 2-0, minute to go, halfway through this 165-pound bout. Landon Lewis just taking a second, getting his concentration. And we're going to get back to copacetic, starting from the middle. There's a shot by Bourne, and we'll see if he can't turn it into points. Again, no points yet. We'll see if he can't get him to the mat. Again, still no points. And both wrestlers, still no points yet, though. We're getting close, but Eilers has the bottom leg of Bourne's, and he's able to turn that into his advantage and get a 3-point takedown. So now 5-0. Will Eilers getting a little separation here from Landon Lewis at the 165-pound match. An almost turn by Eilers, but no points scored. We're going to move into the third period. 5-0 Will Eilers with that lead, and Landon Lewis is choosing both up. So both guys, again, with that 3-point takedown, a person can jump right back in a match with a quick score, and you never know where a takedown can lead a person to. The best time to score back points is right off a takedown. So again, Matt scored 24 for the Arrows, 19 for Pierre. And there's Eilers in on a single leg. Bourne's whizzing hard and trying to use the edge of the mat for his advantage. And there's a 3-point takedown executed by Eilers. And now 8-0. Eilers with the lead. Yeah, a little bit early for us on that one. Again, mini caution for Landon Lewis. Lewis quick to his feet. But Eilers with the near arm able to make a return to the mat, and again starts doing that wrist ride, that just controlling one of the body parts. And there's an escape by Bourne. So 8-1, 58 seconds to go. Or excuse me, Landon Lewis. There's a shot by Eilers. And no points awarded there. Again, guys were still sort of in play, but when no appendage is touching the mat, you call off the mat. Warning stalling by Lewis. And we continue on, 30 seconds to go in this one. 8-1, Governor with the lead in this match. Let's see if Lewis can't load him up on a big throw. And both guys off the mat. Arrow coaching staff shouting encouragement. There's a shot by Eilers, but no points awarded, and we're at 5 seconds to go. Off the whistle shot. Eilers staying on the offensive, and this one is going to end. Will Eilers, 8-1 over Landon Lewis of the Arrows. All right, moving on to 175. Just 4 matches left here tonight. Sam Larson for the Governors, the 5-6 on the year. He's a sophomore versus Kehr for the Arrows. He's 9-7 on the year. He's a junior, so tightening up a little bit on the old dual score. 24-22. Arrows with that 2-point lead, and there's a sit through for 3-point takedown for Kehr, and he's got a half Nelson on, and it's deep. We'll see if he can't turn it into something bigger. Larson able to defend out of that. And we've got a blood time for Kehr with a spring in the leak. And let's hope he can get that under control. So we'll get everybody cleaned up and moving on. One thing I wanted to mention while we have a little downtime here is one of my old teammates at South Dakota State. Most of you might know him as Chad Lamer, 3-time national champ for the Jacks. He was the runner-up for the Olympic qualifying team one year. I think Marty Morgan was the Olympic qualifier, but Chad was an incredible student athlete, and his dad, Randy Lamer, is a long-term wrestling supporter, and he is having a benefit this weekend in January down in Colton, January 18th. His dad, I guess, is a biking cycler, and he was hit on June 26th and was struck from behind by a vehicle, and he suffered a traumatic brain injury, multiple broken bones, and recovery like that takes a long time. So they're having a fundraiser for him. You can look for it on Facebook, on the Facebook event page. So for Randy Lamer, and so thinking about him. Moving on, and that's going to be a full Nelson. Oh, no full Nelson. They call it again blood time. So Kehr had a nice couple of nice half Nelson applied, but just try to get that bloody nose under control. Of course, 5 minutes for blood time in high school wrestling. And we got some guys out there tidying up the place. So there's some nice highlights of the Pitkin match. There's a we'll see if we can't get Kehr fixed up, and it looks like we are. He's got a decent amount of blood time left, but we're only into the first period of this match too. So moving on, back to live action, just under a minute to go. There's Kehr again, keeping that near arm. There's that half Nelson ride right there. He does a nice job on that. He's got it in good. And now he'll work for a crossbody ride, or a kind of a modified crossbody. Just kind of throws one in there. And Larson, the sophomore, trying to change things around to get. Larson was 2-2 at the Mid-Dakota Monster last week, and Kehr 2-2 up there in Bismarck. So Larson to his feet, trying to get some hand control and get a break free of a grasp, and he's going to get one at the buzzer here. So 3-1. This first period is going to end. Kehr still with the lead. So Kehr's choice, he's going to defer. And Sam Larson will take the down position. We used to give Chad Lamer a hard time. He had a younger brother who was a nice wrestler, a couple times state champ back in the Class Bs in the late 80s, and we would tell, we'd say, you know, at South Dakota State, we would always say, you know, we want to recruit you so we can try to get your brother here instead of you. So that never, Chad took it with style, but he made sure that the pinch wasn't too deep for him. So back to the here and now. Kehr again in control on top, has a wrist and a half, and if he can, there's again another wrist and a half. Both goes from left to the right. Again, Kehr keeping good control of those wrists, and he's got a lot of pressure down, and it's kind of got what I'd call a loose ride going on here. Just kind of, it's hanging on, it's doing stuff. It's just waiting for the opportunity to spring something on his opponent. So again, broken him down, and 40 seconds to go. There's a good camera shot. Big picture on that, and we're going to get a restart here. So 32 seconds left in the second period. Sam Larson down 3-1, and we're going to get a little mini blood time here again. So. Here's some highlights of this current match. That was near the end of the first period, so all right. Kehr doing the best he can to keep that blood at bay, and we're going to get back started here again. 32 seconds to go in the second period. Larson with a mini try at a side roll there with kind of a gripping of the elbow, and then it wasn't there, and he decided to go do something else. Kehr again tougher than nails on top. Just keeps a lot of head pressure. Albeit Larson able to get to his feet. And the second period is going to end 3-1 in favor of Kehr. Kehr's going down. For this third period, these matches get more, you know, they're the same weight, but more interesting as the matches, as the night moves on. Again, tight match, 24-22. See if Larson can't mount some offense from the top position. There's Kehr with an inside switch, and there's going to be two. Let's see what referee says. Just one. There's one for the escape, so that'll make it 4-1. Still anybody's match here, 4-1 with those three-point takedowns. And there's a lot of head banging down there right now. And both guys just trying to work head position. Kehr had good head position there for a moment. Now Larson again, but boy, they're clanking heads down there. All right, there's a shot by Larson and a Kelly. And there's a two-point takedown, or three-point takedown, and near fall points for Kehr. Center of the mat. And let's see what will, see how this one will end here. Again, Larson still able to stave off that pin attempt by Kemper, but you can't get any more center of the mat than you are right there. Again, great camera work by our folks, and there it is. Big win for the Arrows at 175. Cade Kemper able to get a pinfall at the 5:36 mark. And that'll move the team score to 30-22. All right. Moving on to 190. Kalo's. All right, Jensen Wenches for the Arrows, 2-8 on the year. He's a freshman, and Kalo Steely, sophomore, 10-9 for the Governors. Winches, fifth place finisher there at Sioux Falls, Washington earlier in the year. And Kalo gets a takedown and almost near side cradle, but gets a reset button and just holds a 3-0 lead here right from the jump at 190. Kalo last week 1-2 at the Mid-Dakota Monster, and he's been a regular for him. He wrestled in Rapid City, wrestled at the Mandan invite way early in the season. There's a half Nelson that he has very deep. He's trying to knock Jensen off his base, try to get him to a hip and a turn, but Jensen able to defend out of that, and no change. So 45 seconds to go here in the first period. Kalo with a crossface and a butcher, and he's trying to run it around the head. And no points yet for backers, and now there is. So there's a 4 count right there, and, or excuse me, 5 count. That'll earn 4 near fall points for Kalo Steely. And that'll make it 7-0. Again, superpower half there by Kalo over Jensen, and more near fall points at the moment. And that'll be a pin there at the 155 mark for Kalo Steely. That'll make it 30-28 in favor of the Arrows. So Elijah Boucher, I've called him Boucher over the last year, but I'll say Boucher. He is 23-4 senior for the Govs, and Ethan Winches 7-6, also a senior for the Arrows. So Boucher ranked number 6 in the state this year. He was a runner-up last year in the state. 6th place in 2023, all at 220, and state qualifier in 2022. He's been around a long time, wrestled a lot of matches. And Wenches last week at the Bismarck, 2-2. Second at Sioux Falls, at the Sioux Falls Washington tournament. He was wrestled at 285 for that one. 5th at the Floyd, and Ethan state qualifier last year himself. So 3-0 early on for Boucher. He also has that near armbar and trying for a wrist. And yeah, we got a potentially dangerous here. That was a good call. That arm moving up that back of Wenches just a little too far. So we'll get a reset, and we're a little quick off the jump there. Mini caution awarded against Winches. Elijah keeping big pressure down, and now he's got a far side cradle, or he did have, and then broke that apart. Now again, just kind of looking to see what his opponent's going to do, and then he'll react to it. So. 10 seconds left to go here in the first period. And a couple of cross faces back and forth, but we're going to end that first period here 3-0. Governor's on top. So, all right, Ethan's choosing down, I believe. So we'll see if he can't get out of there and get on the scoreboard. Again, great shot on that mat side camera. And Boucher's got that again. He's got good pressure down. He's got a cradle. And Winches able to defend that. Winches kind of got to hold that top arm. And that's hard to score when it's a good defensive maneuver, because of your offense. You just can't score from without usually two arms. So keep a look on referee Gangle to see if he's going to award any stalling, or again, both guys working out there a little bit. Probably no stalling to be had. But no real scoring from the bottom and no real scoring from the top yet in this second period. So there's again another cross face. We'll see if EJ can. No. Wench is able to get that broken. Again, Boucher really tough on top. A lot of pressure down. And there we go. There's a warning green. So that's warning Winches to try to do something offensive from the down position. And we're going to get a blood time for one of the athletes. Again, nope, that'll be Ethan Winches with the leak. So again, good duel tonight. What you'd expect at an ESD duel. Both teams, all with positions filled, all with athletes up and down the lineup. And we'll get this one back going again. All right, Ethan got it looked like he got a breath of fresh air, a little coaching up from the staff, and we'll see what we can do here. So second period, just 25 seconds left to go. 3-0 via that takedown from first period for EJ there of Pierre. Again, EJ third at the Mandan invite earlier this year, fourth at Rapid City, and he was first at the Lakota Nation invite. And again, first at the Mid-Dakota Monster last weekend. All right. Boucher's choice, and he's going down. So again, still 3-0. Close match here. 2 minutes to go. And we'll see if Winches can get a turn and get something locked up. Here's Winches with had a nice pinch ride there, but slipped off, and Elijah able to back out and get a 1-point escape. So 4-0 now with the lead. And there's a single leg by Boucher pulling it in. And a nice lift and a return for a double leg and 3 points. So to include backers here. So take down to back points for Boucher, now up 7-0. And he's got a half Nelson in. Excellent job by Winches to get off the back and get back into a position to try to mount up a score. But 4 points awarded to Elijah there, so 11-0, and there is a escape for Winches, so now 11-1. Oh, Winches with a nice near side pickle up of a single leg, but Boucher able to counter and get a takedown and some back points. So Boucher just able to use his balance and a flip, and he was able to score and get the technical fall there. So 17-1. Boucher with the win. So all right, Micah Hawk, 22-0 in the year. He's a senior for, of course, the Arrows, and Devin Binger, sophomore for the Gov. So again, when you're 22-0, that means you've won everything so far this year. Again, he was a runner-up in 2024 and 2023, and there's a takedown right to a near fall position for Micah. And there's a pinfall, so that's going to be how it ends up here tonight. 36 for the Arrows and 33 for the Governors. So again, one more thing about Micah, he won last weekend over Darian Bitts of Bismarck Century in the finals at the Bismarck Rotary, and Bitts returned as state champ there, state champ in 2024. So nice win for him. Bitts was 25-1 coming into that match, and Micah was able to win by fall. I think it was a first period fall. So, well, folks, great night of wrestling here. Arrow girls fall to the Governors in the duel, but the Arrow boys are able to pick up an ESD win over the Governors 36-33. Next action for at least the wrestlers, I believe, will be on the air for the Millbank duel next week. That'd be on Thursday. And Arrow TV is having, I think we have Yankton tomorrow night in boys basketball right here in the Civic Arena. So again, thanks a bunch to our production staff, our cameramen and women, Conrad Pitkin, Cammie Krisman, Ryder Shell, and Olivia Deco. We can't do it without you. It takes all of us to make this work. And thanks a bunch for watching. We'll maybe look through some quick highlights here, and then we'll wrap it up here just right before 9 o'clock tonight on Arrow TV. All right, stay tuned for the highlights. You've already heard me talk about them one time, but lots of fun up here. Again, come out and support your student athletes, whatever sport they're in. Doesn't matter if it's a band, declam, interp, debate, or on a field in the arena or outside. So again, thanks a bunch for the staff here tonight. Let me get up here and talk again, and we'll see you down the road.